Alright everybody, welcome back to Kitchen Science. This is what we're doing today. We've got our fixed up pit boss. We are doing a burnout right now. You've noticed that the smoke is starting to get a little bit blue. We've got some decent heat going on in there. I'm basically going to go ahead and try to burn all this off and scrub it down, and it's going well. A lot of it's starting to bubble away. Got pellets thrown on in there. I went ahead and picked up Pit Boss Cherry, $12 at my local Lowe's. I figured that's going to be fine. I've got the sucker sit to 350 degrees, which is basically what the thermometer is saying it's sitting at right now. Well, it was before I picked it up. So we're going to go ahead and get this rack of baby back seasoned up. I've got half Lowry's and half fresh cracked Pellet cherry black peppercorns. We're going to get that on there. We're going to let it sit until the white smoke goes away and we burn off some of that extra grease. And then we're going to go ahead and pop these guys on, let them go for a couple hours, and we're going to see how this is. Be back real soon. All right, so we got blue smoke. We're at temp. We're shooting for 300 degrees. Now, what I've learned about these things is this is the hot side away from the auger, and this is the cooler side. So we're going to pop our ribs on here, like so. We've got the thickest end towards the hottest side, so we're going to let these guys go for about an hour. Come back and check on them, and we'll see where they're at. All right, everybody, so it's been an hour. Go ahead and check on these guys. All right, they look pretty good. They look dry. They're starting to pull back the bone, which is good. Definitely not getting the bark that I'm used to getting. Yeah, they're hard as a rock, but you know what? I see a little bit of wetting. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray them down right now with a mixture of apple cider vinegar and Worcestershire sauce, and let's go ahead and let's see what they do. And we also we got plenty of pellets in there, so let's let this guy just continue to keep going. I'm gonna go spray them down right now. All right, everybody, we are on hour 2. Go ahead and check them out. You notice we're sitting right around 250. Oh, these look, they look much better. Nice and red. Spray them again. By the way, a little thing that I have learned about this smoker, this box right here tends to eat the center of the pellets out and drop, so that there's not enough in there to fill it back up. Stalls. I already did that once. Number 2, don't open this up unless you have to. The amount of smoke coming out of here, it like burned the crap out of my eyes. But anyways, these guys are looking pretty good. We're on hour 2. They're starting to get there. Yeah, probably give them another half hour, come back and check on them and see where they're at. All right, this has been about 2.5 hours. We've got a couple tabs of butter and some salt. I'm gonna go ahead and check out these ribs. There they are. They're looking pretty good. We've got a good amount of rendering going on in there, so let's go ahead and pull them off. We're going to give them a nice long rest on here, at least a half hour, 45 minutes. We'll go ahead and we'll cut them open. We'll check them out and see how they are. All right, everybody. Here's our ribs. They've been sitting for about an hour now after they came off the smoker. So just to do a quick recap, we smoked them for 2.5 hours on the Pit Boss Pellet Grill Pro Series 1100 at around 300 degrees. We then went ahead and let them sit in foil with about 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter and salt for about an hour. Now we're going to try them out. So here we go. They look pretty good. They smell pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about how all that's going to go. Go ahead and get them out on here. Let's get a little bit of love on there. Oh, I love it when there's extra liquid lying around. So all in all, they look like they rendered pretty well. I'm pretty happy with them. They look like they cut through really well. So let's just go ahead and let's dive in. So remember, you want to be in between bones when you cut. Right? So that went pretty well. Not bad. We got a decent smoke ring. You know, there's a little bit sitting in here. It's not as much as the egg, but you can definitely see it on the sides. We've got good amount of juice coming out of there. They're nice and soft, so they should come out pretty well. So let's go ahead and let's check a center bone. Not too shabby. Let's try it out. They're really good. Lowry's comes through. Not a ton of smoke. There's definitely a big pork flavor in there, but there's definitely not a ton of smoke. Let me go ahead and give it another bite. They're definitely really good. Flavor came out great. They're nice and soft and juicy. That little bit of Worcestershire apple cider that we sprayed on them gives us a really nice bark on top. So for all those cases, they came out great. The big thing that I'm missing here is that cherry flavor. I purposely bought cherry pellets. I put them in there. I wanted to go ahead and taste them. I kind of am tasting them a little bit, but it's really more of an afterthought than anything. The flavor is good for what they are, minus the smoke. I definitely would eat these. Oh yeah, I would definitely eat these again, but I just wouldn't think that I was going to be getting a lot of smoke, so I would change my perception after that. Let's go ahead and let's get one of the bigger ones out and see if that one changes at all. All right, so here's our larger side. I'm gonna cut down the center again. Again, looks good. Nice and juicy, great fat rendering. A little bit of a smoke ring, but not much of anything. Let's go ahead and cut these down. Looks fantastic. Great bark on there. That pepper really comes through. Okay, again, same idea. Nice and tender, nice and juicy, great fat rendering. Fortunately though, I'm still not getting a lot of smoke. I'm gonna be interested to see how some of the other things that I've cooked. Generally, ribs like to pick up a lot of smoke, but hey, let's try some other things. Maybe we can do some chicken, maybe we can do some fish. I don't know that I want to take a brisket down this road because you really want a lot of that smoke involved in all that rich, unctuous flavor. But I would definitely eat these again. I'd definitely make them again. But I've made them so many times on the Big Green Egg that I kind of know what to look for. I'm definitely missing some of those flavor notes. But again, the texture on this, it's fantastic. All right, so here's my final thoughts on these. They were really delicious. They tasted amazing. They were great. They started to have a decent bit of a smoke ring on them. They got a great bark sitting on them. They had good pullback. They had great fat rendering. I would definitely eat these. I have no problem eating them. My only concern with them is that if I compare them to something like the Big Green Egg, goes ahead and utilizes lump wood and lump charcoal, I'm gonna get a much different flavor on there. So for that standpoint, I would pick the Big Green Egg over these only because of that one minor note. It's just the smoke here is just not enough for me. But the reasons of easiness and plug and play that you get out of a pellet smoker definitely makes it so that it's definitely a good contender to go ahead and look into. If you don't have a lot of time, you know, Big Green Eggs are high IQ when it comes to figuring out how to use them and figuring out what works. So if you don't have the kind of time to put that in and you just want some good barbecue that you can throw some sauce on and not worry too much about the smoke in the end, this is a great option to go ahead and do. Here's our ribs. So I tried to grab the exact same size, style, placement on the animal set of ribs that we could. So heavier one portion over here, heavier three portion over here with a nice decent two in the middle. I also went ahead and did the exact same rub. So this is half part Lowry's, half part fresh cracked Telecherry black peppercorns. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring the egg up to 300 degrees. We're gonna let it settle out and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our ribs on. But before we do our ribs, we gotta go ahead and give them a quick season. Let me show you how I did that. This is the exact same way that I seasoned them in the previous video as well. So let's get right into that seasoning montage right now. All right, everybody, so our egg is up to temp. Let's go ahead and get these ribs on. Now, the way that they sit, we want to put them on with the thickest part in the back because the heat radiates from the back up, hits the dome, and convections forward just like this. Okay, we're gonna let these sit for about an hour. We're gonna come back and check them. They'll probably end up doing a similar 2.5 hour cook today like they did on the Pit Boss, but let's go ahead and let's drop this dome and let these guys go. All right, and there's our ribs. It's been about a little over an hour. I got a little busy, but you'll notice they got great bark. They got great rendering going on. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and give it a spray, just like we did with the other ribs. All right, let's let them go for another hour and let's see how they look then. All right, everybody, let's see how this is. Oh my God, it's been 2 hours. Those look even better. Look at that bark. Look at the rendering. It's even better. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at how that jumps right in. All that fat coming out. These look fantastic. We're gonna give them another half hour, another spray. There we go. Then we're gonna go ahead and pull them off, let them rest in a bunch of butter and some foil for about an hour, and then we're gonna cut right into them. All right, everyone, it has been 2.5 hours. Our ribs look fantastic. We got a bubble there. Got great rendering going on. Everything's nice and soft. So we've got our tabs of butter and salt on our foil. Gonna go ahead and pop these guys up, pop them right on there. We're gonna wrap this up, cover it with another piece of foil. We're then gonna let it rest for about 45 minutes, and we'll cut right into them and we'll try them out and compare them to our Pit Boss ones. All right, everybody, so it's been over an hour. Our ribs are done. Go ahead and get this off and take a look at them. All right, so right off the bat, they're a little darker than the last ones are. You still got a good amount of liquid in there, so let's go ahead and get these off. All right, let's also not forget about our little bit of liquid love that we have. Our butter that these went ahead and set in. All right, so these look and smell great. Remember, when we cut, we want to go ahead and cut bone to bone. All right, so as you can see right there, we definitely have more smoke penetration than we did with the pit bosses. So that's number one. You can see all this deep red sitting right in here. So that is great. We got a lot of great fat rendering. You can see when I squeeze, we got tons of liquid still sitting in there. Let's go ahead and chop up the smaller one first, and then we'll get into the larger one. All right, there we go. Take a look. Oh yeah, that's smoke penetration. A little bit amount of juice coming out of it. That is amazing. We got great bark on here. We got great fat rendering. We definitely have more smoke. I can smell it. Let's go ahead and give them a bite. See how they are. All right, so we get a nice clean bite. See all that smoke going on in there. These are definitely fantastic. The smoke is definitely there. The bark is a little bit more pronounced. I think it was a bit more dry sitting inside of there, but you'll notice the meat is still pull apart tender. This is a really good rib. All right, let's go ahead and swap out to the larger one. So here's the larger one. Same idea. In between the bones. Oh, look at that. That fat rendering is amazing. Oh, wonderful. Let's go ahead and give this a try. These are better. I'm just gonna state it right down. The smoke flavor that you get is fantastic. The bark's a lot heavier and a lot thicker. You know, we did the same exact thing. We cooked them at the exact same times, at the same temperatures. The only difference is one was in the egg and the other one was in the pit boss. One used charcoal and lump wood, and the other one went ahead and used pellets. So as you can see here, this is fantastic. So we got great fat rendering. We got great smoke flavor. These are nice and tender. They are super juicy. Right, these are definitely our winner. But again, if you remember, the IQ on utilizing the egg, you got to use it a lot to sort of get good at it. The great thing about the pit boss is that it's just plug and play. You season, you follow some rules on how to cook, and you check on it every once in a while. When you're done with the egg, you really got to be good at managing that fire, which helps manage that temperature. And then you got to have that reflector plate in there and all those things. So this is a great product. I will definitely pick these over the ribs. Anyways, if you guys want to see me go ahead and do anything else like chicken or fish, please go ahead and leave a comment down below. And if you're on my side with the egg, if you think the egg is the way to go, please go ahead and drop a like and drop a comment. Tell me what you think. All right, everybody, here's my final thoughts for the big green egg ribs. These things were amazing. They tasted just as good as the pit boss ones, except for the simple fact that they got a lot more smoke penetration. So you can see here, even on this guy, you can see that amount of smoke penetration that we had sitting in here. While the pit boss had some, it was much thinner than this. It means that the transfer of that smoke did not occur nearly as much as it did on the big green egg. And for that reason, I went ahead and picked the big green egg. They still, both sets still tasted amazing. Both sets are both completely and totally worth doing. But to be honest with you, if I have a choice and I have the time, I'm gonna pick the big green egg. If I don't have the time, and I still want fantastic barbecue, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the pit boss. It really just go ahead and comes down to that. If you wanna add one more layer of complexity, the cost to go ahead and run your average egg is twice as much as it is as your pit boss, because all of those costs come up front. A big green egg without even a deflector plate starts at $1,200. Sometimes you can get them on sale for about $9.99, where your pit boss starts at $6.99, and sometimes you can even see them go all the way down to $5.99. So you really have to go ahead and make that choice. If you want perfect, fantastic barbecue, and these are the two machines that you are looking at to utilize, I would pick the big green egg all day long. But if you just want something easy, something quick, and something simple, they can give you fantastic barbecue as well, go with those pellet grills. They are amazing. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, please go ahead and smash that like button. Leave any comments down below that you like. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. If you're new here, please go ahead hit that subscribe button, and you get to see all the fun things that we get to do here on this channel every week. And as always, have a phenomenal, fantastic barbecue week.